can start.
Now it's time for News Extra, today brought to you by First State Bank, and here is Kevin Mooney.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Good morning, everyone, and we are going to talk about another Earth Day project for Keep Scottsbluff Caring Beautiful. They did so well with the Earth Day project over at Co-op here just a couple of weeks ago with the electronics collections and other things they did that day. And so we're going to talk about another event, the Pharmaceutical Take Back event. It's an annual thing. Happens every year. Susan Wiedemann and Kathy Kropensky are here to discuss it. And I guess, Susan, the first thing, let's just discuss the dates, the time, and
it's coming up,
and why you guys again are involved.
Okay, it's coming up on Saturday, May 4th, from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. And we are on the east side of the Main Street Market at Avenue B and South Beltline. And it is in the second drive-through. You have the pharmacy, and then we'll be on the second drive-through. There's a big banner stretched across that drive-through as of yesterday, so you can see where we're going to be. And I don't know, it was six years ago?
Yes.
Something like that. Kathy called me and wanted to do this, and but she needed a pharmacy or a company with a pharmacy to participate, because one of the things we have to have is a pharmacist there. And she asked if we would be interested in doing it, and I said, sure, why not? And we've done very well. And it's probably taken on a little bit more significance as the years go. First of all, it was just to try to keep everything out of the water, and it is still that reason, but also to get the pharmaceuticals out of the medicine cabinets in the homes. I think last year we talked about kids are taking medications out of parents' and grandparents' medicine cabinets. They're having these parties called farming parties where they throw all these drugs into a bowl and just take handfuls. And I think that's getting more and more popular, unfortunately. So it's really important to try to get all of that stuff out of people's closets and cupboards and medicine cabinets and dispose of it properly.
No question about it. All right, let's take a break, and then we'll let Kathy talk here over the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Well, she did do well, didn't she?
Well, she did do well.
Yes, and we're very proud of her.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Susan. She
We
really
should
did.
mention the other sponsors.
I will. I'm going to mention them. And we have
I
to.
thought I'd leave that to her.
And
Yeah.
I especially have to mention North Platte NRD, because they climbed on board the
Yeah.
last 2 years, and they're
Yeah.
giving me a big plus.
Right. All right, so we are back talking about the annual pharmaceutical Take Back event. That's easy for me to say sometimes. And it's this Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. over at Main Street Market. And Susan kind of detailed why they're involved. This, again, is the 6th year. And Kathy, I guess, first of all, Susan talked about some of the reasons why we're doing this and the parties and so forth. The original reason, keep this stuff out of the water, and the
Right.
community has been great in responding to this.
You know, Kevin, right from the very beginning, it was great. I mean, we thought it was awesome the first year we collected 600 pounds. And that was awesome for a first-time event. But last year we collected 2,200 pounds. That's a ton and 200 pounds. So think of that out of our water. You know, it started with a little article I read about, fish being feminized in Minnesota. And I wanted to protect our western Nebraska. So none of that happened to you. Wasn't that nice, Kevin? Yes.
Yes.
And so anyway, so that's really how it all started. And I thought, this is so important that we don't have this in our drinking water, because we've learned over the years there's so many things that they just can't remove. And we drink more hormones and antibiotics every day, and that's why we're becoming resistant to these drugs. So it is very, very important that we do this.
No question about it. And like you said, a big and all these drugs, Clean Harbors will be there to take all these drugs and take them down to Kimball, right?
Nope, they don't go to Kimball.
Oh, they don't go to Kimball.
No. Every incinerator has a different item that they incinerate. Medical, what they call this, has to go out to the West Coast, and it's incinerated out there, because every incinerator has a different degree of heat in what they do with it. So that's why it's rather expensive for us to do this, but I know how important it is when you think of everything that we keep out. Our program's a little different too. We accept things. We don't care why you didn't take them, why you got them, anything like that. Bring your sharps to us. bring anything that you have that's over the counter, any of that, we don't want to see being flushed. So we're going to be there 8 hours. Come and see us.
All right. Real quick, let's talk about the sponsors.
Yes, of course, I couldn't do it without Panhandle Co-op. I mean, they've been great all these years to always partner with us. Our new partner the last 2 years has been the North Platte NRD. We really appreciate them. I definitely couldn't do it without them. They also care about that good water out there and clean water, so I want to really give them a thank you. Platte Valley Bank, First State, First National Bank, Valley Ambulance, Scottsbluff County Health Department, and of course the Scottsbluff Police Department and the NDEQ. And again, it has to be a community effort, and we've made it work, just like we have our big Earth Day event.
Yeah, now let's go back real quick to the Earth Day event. You guys collected, you have a total now for exactly how much in electronics you collected, and it was a large amount.
It was very large, one of our largest. We collected 73,313 pounds. Now think of that, 3 semis full of stuff, and we still couldn't get it all. I just think that's just so amazing. Salt Lake City had an event that day also, and the same company that did ours did theirs, and they collected 22,000 pounds. So again, hey, we're good. I mean, we listen, we care about the environment, and we know that things do not belong in the landfill. So I want to thank the community for coming out, and we hope to see them on Saturday.
And I think you will. It'll be nice weather. The storm will be past, and you should do very well. 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. over at Main Street Market on Saturday. Make sure you get all those unused pharmaceuticals out of your house and over to Main Street Market on Saturday. We thank Kathy Krupensky and Susan Wiedemann for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Kevin.